This is a challenge I've been waiting for. Hey guys, welcome back. So I actually had another video that was already scheduled that I planned to publish, and I was on YouTube and I came across Pastel Pages' latest YouTube upload, and it was all about a Gilmoreathon, essentially a Gilmore Girls readathon. Now, anybody who knows me knows how obsessed with this show that I am, and when I found out that there was a readathon happening, I knew I essentially had to drop everything and participate, or find a way to participate. So firstly, that's why this video is up a couple of days late, because I did find out about it late. However, because it's 2 weeks long, it's still plenty of time for me to participate. So with that said, I wanted to quickly make a video to tell you guys what my TBR is, all of the details about the challenge. That way, if you are interested, you can participate, or at the very least, you understand what these videos are that I'm posting. So for this readathon, there are challenges essentially that you have to complete in order to kind of win or whatever. And each of those challenges, there's a book associated with it. So this is me telling you the challenges while also letting you know my TBR that I've associated with it. I've got them on my phone, so if I'm looking down, I'm reading them. So first one is a book with a school setting in honor of Chilton, which, if you don't know, Chilton is the high school that Rory goes to, and then eventually she goes on to Yale. So for that one, I chose Majoring in Murder by Jessica Fletcher and Donald Bain. If you guys have seen my previous video where I did a haul, I do collect the Murder, She Wrote books, and even though I don't read them all the time, there are some times when I want to pick them up just because I'm feeling nostalgic, and I feel like for this particular challenge, this was the perfect opportunity for me to choose one of those books. One, obviously it meets the challenge criteria because it is set at a school. Just really quick, I'll tell you the plot. So Jessica Fletcher is teaching at this local college, and one of the writers there ends up dead. Obviously, being who she is, she has to investigate, blah blah blah. Again, the plots for these are never really challenging, but it does fit the criteria for this first one because it's set on a college campus. So the next challenge is to read a book featuring a mother-daughter relationship. Now, this could be in honor of Lorelai and Rory, or Lorelai and Emily, depending on which book that you read. For this particular challenge, I chose more, I guess, the Rory-Lorelai relationship, meaning they have a great relationship, and I chose Wrecked by Carol Higgins Clark. Carol Higgins Clark is actually the daughter of another famous mystery author, Mary Higgins Clark. So already I feel like that satisfies the requirement of a mother-daughter relationship. However, the actual plot of the book is about a woman named Reagan who is a private investigator, and because it's part of a series, essentially what happens is that every book is Reagan solving a mystery, and in this particular one, her and her husband are on a weekend getaway, and one of their neighbors ends up going missing, and so she's trying to figure out what happened, and a whole cast of characters comes in because, to be honest, Carol Higgins Clark does that really well. She features a lot of kind of quirky characters, and some of them are either ones that they've just met or even part of their own family, such as her mom. And her mom is actually a famous mystery author, so I feel like it works in so many different ways. So that's the one that I'm choosing for that one. So the third one is to read a book in a cozy setting set during the either fall or winter months, and this is in honor, of course, of Stars Hollow, which, oh man, I wish that was a real place so bad. So for that one, I'm actually reading a book called Lord of the Rings? I don't know why I said that. It's called Lord of the Wings by Donna Andrews. Donna Andrews writes a series featuring a lot of bird puns, which I always think is hilarious. But this one is about a woman named let's see, Meg Langslow, and she lives in a small town named Carphilly, and they're having their annual Halloween celebration, and somebody gets murdered during the festivities, and Meg wants to figure out who it is, because if she doesn't, then the whole town's festivities are going to be canceled, and she doesn't want to let down her twin boys because they've been looking forward to this. This one is a cozy mystery. In fact, a lot of the books that I've chosen are cozy mysteries just because I feel like this particular reading challenge lends itself to that cozy feel, and so you'll notice that a lot of the books that I'm reading feature those kind of cozy settings or small towns or anything, just make it more Gilmore, you know? Let's see. The next one on the list is a book with complicated love interests. Of course, we already know that the Jess versus Dean versus Logan. Side note, so I've gone back and forth about which team that I am. I think I've landed on Team Jess, but anytime I watch the earlier episodes, I'm not Team Jess at all. But let me know in the comments which team you're on, and we can kind of discuss the merits of each guy to figure out who ultimately wins the battle. So for the book with a complicated love interest, I chose Princess Jellyfish Volume 2. I actually read the first volume already, and it got 5 stars. It was the first manga that I ever read, and it's just super cute, super just all the feels. And so this particular book continues to follow our main character Sookie and kind of her coming into her own, because as we saw in the first book, she just moved to the big city. She's living on her own. Well, she's not living on her own in the sense to where she doesn't have roommates, but she's living on her own away from her parents. So this one, she's still kind of fumbling her way through adulthood, and so the love triangle in this one is actually between Kuranosuke, which is the guy who dresses up as a female. I'm hesitant to even say that because I don't want to give away the first book too much, but essentially it's between Kuranosuke and Kuranosuke's brother, who we get introduced to in this particular installment. So it should be really good. I know I'm gonna get the warm and fuzzy feelings, which is just right on brand with Gilmore Girls, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. Okay, so the next book on the So, side note guys, I'm filming outside, so you're going to be hearing a lot of cars pass by like this one. Anyway, the next challenge is to read a book with Asian representation, either Asian cast or written by an Asian author, and I'm actually going to use Princess Jellyfish Volume 2 for this one again. I might as well double up where I can. I know how many books that I can complete, and I don't want to be overly ambitious. So Princess Jellyfish is going to be for this one as well. The next one is to read a book that's part of a series you haven't finished yet, and this is in honor of A Day in the Life, which is the spin-off sequel of Gilmore Girls that came out a few years ago. It was a Netflix special. I'm gonna reserve my opinions on that one. Of course, it was great to go back to Stars Hollow, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. Anyway, as far as picking up books that are part of series, I actually have a lot of these. Technically, Princess Jellyfish can fit into that. Technically, the Donna Andrews book can fit into that. And technically, the Murder, She Wrote book can fit into that. But I am going to read another book, and it is called One Book in the Grave by Kate Carlisle. This one features a amateur sleuth who actually happens to be a book restorer in her real job. We come along with our main character as she figures out how the rare edition of a Beauty and the Beast book was stolen and then resurfaced, and whether or not it could have been related to a murder that happened a while ago. I've only read, I think, 3 books in this series. Not only does this meet the requirements of the challenge, but I feel like it also gets some kind of bonus points because it deals with books and, you know, Rory is a book lover, and so I'm gonna count myself as getting extra credit for this. Last up for the 7th challenge, if you've been keeping count, we have a book with food on the cover or is crucial to part of the storyline in honor of Luke's Cafe, or in honor of Sookie, I guess technically. And so for this one, I chose Death by Darjeeling, which is by Laura Childs. This is the first book in her tea shop mystery. Again, this is another cozy because, like I said, for this readathon, I want all the cozies. This particular book features a tea shop owner, and while she's catering an event, somebody at the party ends up dead. And so she steps in to try and figure out what happened because she doesn't want to be blamed and she doesn't want to have that bad publicity for her tea shop. Last up, we have a group read, which is kind of like a bonus. It's Lauren Graham's book, Talking as Fast as I Can. Lauren Graham, of course, plays Lorelai, and this book is kind of like her autobiography, how she came to Hollywood, her time on Gilmore Girls, all that good stuff. I'm not sure if I want to listen to the audiobook or if I want to get the physical copy, but either way, I know that I'm going to get it. Okay guys, so that was my list of books that I plan on reading for GILMOREATHON. I'm really excited about this. Gilmore Girls is one of my favorite shows, and of course I watched it with my mom, so I know when I tell her I'm doing this reading challenge, she's gonna be really excited. I actually am gonna order a couple of Gilmore Girls paraphernalia in the mail just to like really take it up a notch. I will have the details of the challenge in my description box below, so feel free to check it out if you want to see the other channels who are participating, or even if you want to somehow participate yourself. Like I said, it started technically a couple of days ago, but because it's 2 weeks, it's not too late to join if you're interested. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys come back next week to see how it's going so far, and until next time guys, bye!